¿Y cuáles son las preguntas que vamos a hacer?
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Becky Legiro of Calvinaire.com. This is the Understanding and Reaching Latin America Players panel, and we have so many amazing panelists here today coming from all sorts of different angles of the industry, so some amazing insights to share. So happy to have them, and thanks to SBC for bringing us here today. What I'm going to do is start off by having my panelists introduce themselves, talk a little bit about how their company is involved with the Latin American market and why they are super excited to be involved in this space. So let me start off with Fernanda, please.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Becky or Rebecca. Thank you for the invitation. Hello from all the panelists. Nice to see you. I wish we were in Barcelona, but it's okay that we are here in my case in Mexico. So thank you for the invitation.
Okay, Fernanda, can you explain a bit about what your company does and how you're involved with Latin America? That's all right.
Okay, thank you. Yes, I'm the CMO, LATAM CMO from Caliente Interactive. So what basically we are based in the marketing in Mexico. So what we do is like to explore all the online gaming in basically Mexico. And also I'm just start as a CMO of WPlay. That is a company from Colombia. So now I have the chance to see the both countries, Mexico in as Caliente and WPlay in Colombia.
Outstanding. Alessandro Fried, please.
Hi, everybody. A pleasure to be here. So I'm one of the founder of B2Bet. B2Bet is a supplier of technologies for the gaming and sportbook industries. We provide a full platform to the operators to manage their own operation. In the last years, we have been quite strongly present through all LATAM. We've been present with partner and operators in Mexico, Colombia, Peru, and Argentina, and so on. So we have been quite a large presence on which we build what I think a strong knowledge in helping them and in sharing as well this information towards the market, because we try to grow the knowledge in the market as well for white papers and information that we share. So thank you to invite me here.
Very good. And our other is Alessandro Valente.
Yes, another one. So, well, thanks for inviting me as well. It's always a pleasure to participate in a panel with so many great names and people that we admire a lot. So my name is Alessandro Valente. I am from Super Afiliados, one of the co-founders, and I've been an affiliate for a while here, mainly in Brazil, and targeting Latin America in general, but in general, Brazil is our main focus for the moment, and that's pretty much it, really.
Very good. And JD?
Yeah, thank you, Becky. First of all, thank you to SBC also for putting this together. Like Fernanda said, it would have been nice to be in Barcelona. Love that place, but I guess it is what it is, and very, very happy that SBC is putting events like this together so we get to share a little bit of our points of view and what we're doing. So I'm CEO for BetCris, Latin American operator for the last 14, 15 years, focusing on the LATAM market. We have presence all the way from Mexico down to South America. I'm very excited to be here.
Wonderful. Thank you guys so much. As you can see, two operators, a supplier, and affiliate, really rich panel. And so what I want to start off with today is a little bit on regulation. I do realize this is not a panel on regulation, so we won't dig in too deep on the details, but maybe more about what we're anticipating to happen with regulation. And JD, I wanted to kick off with you here. I wanted to hear your thoughts on how the regulators, maybe specifically Brazil, or even you can branch out a bit if you like, are going to, or how can they find a balance between the interests of the customers, the operators, and the government? This is a delicate balance, a lot of parties involved, but how do you think that they can do this?
Yeah, thank you, Becky. This is super important for everyone involved. As you said, it's not just the operators who are interested in regulation. There are some operators who are actually very happy without it, but myself and Beth Chris were definitely pushing everywhere we can for a fair regulation, for a level playing field that is going to guarantee that the customers get what they want, which is entertainment, right? That the government gets a part of the benefits as well through hopefully what is a fair tax. And then, of course, the operators are well allowed to do business. Right? So the balance is delicate, and we've come across several examples where the lack of knowledge, lack of experience has definitely made it more difficult for operators to be successful, and at the same time for the regulators to keep the unlicensed operators at bay. And that is one of the main things, actually. If the regulators work together with the operators to make sure that they provide the benefits, a lot of the operators are going to want to get licensed. And then the government will get more money in taxes, and then everyone wins. And then the government should play a part as well through the regulating body on making sure that the games being offered and all the processes protect the integrity of the business, protect the customers, which in the end is what we're all interested in.
Very good. Thank you for that. And Alessandro Fried, can you maybe speak a bit about Brazil in particular? I know you have some big plans once the regulation pushes through there. What's the landscape looking like to you?
Let's see that there was a lot of panel related to Brazil, because at this moment there is a massive interest from a lot of operators, not only present in the retail of Brazil, but as well international operators that are looking with much interest to Brazil. A federal law passed 2 years ago, more or less, on which they define the time frame and the tax, what it will be. 2 years passed, they have another 2 years because the regulation allowed them to extend for another 2 years the process. So I believe that we will have hopefully regulated Brazil in 2022. Now, if I'm not wrong, I think around this date we'll have as well the general elections, so we never know. Complications come unexpected, or expected complications still come on the table. Two things that is interesting to know is that the taxation, but its plan is quite high. We're talking about a taxation on turnover around 3%, exactly 3%, that makes a very high taxation from one point of view. And two, the discussion are not anymore around a licensing model, but it will be a model based on concession. And this means that we will go through a bidding process. There will be a limited number of operators that probably will have access to a licensing in Brazil. So I expect that the most realistic scenario will be larger tier one operators that will have the possibility to win this bid, probably in partnership with local companies in order to use as well their knowledge. Now, in this scenario, we'll have probably still a strong presence of unregulated operators that cannot access to this concession. So we'll have an environment where probably as well the government will not be able, as they did in Colombia, for example, to fight the presence of unregulated operators. With a regulated operator, but we'll have probably with an high tax, an offer that will be less competitive. So this will be most probably the scenario in Brazil that we will find there.
Okay, thank you, Alessandro. And Fernanda, excellent, thank you. And Fernanda, can you speak a bit about Mexico and how the regulations there are impacting your player acquisition?
Yeah, well, as JD may know, in Mexico, there's a lot of room to work. No, there is a lot of things to do in Mexico. It's not like Colombia, that is I think the best example in Latin America about regulation. And I think we need to follow the same model in Mexico as Colombia. So it's a little bit gray. No, in Mexico, we are working very hard, like to be totally regulated, because as JD said, it's good for the operators, and also it's good for the government to know all the rules that are the same for everyone, that we can compete like with the same opportunities, the same responsibilities and obligations. So, but I think will take time, no, with this government, but we are in the association and work very together with the government to explain this is important, because they don't know how to do it, no. So for them also it's new how to handle, but with the experience in Colombia and with the experience that we have in Mexico, because we have been, in case of Caliente, we have been operating there since 2015. So we have like a lot of know-how how to help the government.
Very good, very good. And Alessandro Valente, let us take a bit more focus on the affiliate landscape. I know that you're quite active in Brazil, like you said, you're sitting there right now. What do the regulations look like for affiliates, and what does the general landscape look like for affiliates? I mean, are we, where are they? Where do you find them? Who are they?
Well, so first of all, the regulation is not even touching the subject of affiliation in Brazil. Let alone marketing. Marketing is controlled by the CONAR, an agency that regulates all the marketing activities. And probably we will have to face some of these regulatory, scopes from the CONAR. But for affiliates, it's pretty much a very interesting scenario where Brazil is kind of like an untapped market if you compare like to Europe or even America. So there is room for affiliates to come and enjoy some interesting profit here. Super Afiliados has been revamping the whole operation recently to cope with the demand. There is quite a few people interested in the country, and we're taking that very, very seriously. So yeah, but affiliates will not be, so far as I know, regulated by anything, which is kind of great, to be honest.
Very good. Okay. So if we can shift our focus now to maybe talking about some sponsorships. I know that JD, there's lots of news coming from Betcris when it comes to Latin American market with the NFL and other things. But if we specifically talk about your sponsorship of a couple of football leagues, I believe they're in Mexico, how are you going to use your marketing dollars wisely when it comes to these particular deals? This can be a bit of a challenge to LATAM, as we know.
Right. This is for me, right, Becky?
Yep.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. We're not sponsoring a league in Mexico. In Mexico, we sponsor the national team. We're very proud to do so. And we're sponsoring at the LATAM level, the Major League Baseball and the NFL, the National Football League of the United States. And we also have some other sponsorship deals that we do, particularly one in Mexico with Atlantic, which we're also very proud of as well. The sponsorships are tricky, no doubt about it. I believe that it takes a lot of strategy to actually be able to get the return on investment. But that's not everything we're after. We're trying to solidify our position in Latin America as one of the strongest, if not the strongest operator. And these deals reflect that. Right? The fact that we're able to enter into these partnerships with such key organizations, it sends a very, very loud and strong message that I hope will resonate for a long time. So it's not a pure digital marketing strategy where you're looking for return on investment right away and you can track the results. This is more of a long-term effort, and we're hoping that it's already given us a lot of positive feedback from regulators, from customers, from media, from other organizations. So that's one of another benefit that comes with it, right? So again, I acknowledge the fact that it is tricky, all these sponsorships, because not only you have to make good on the deal with the league or the organization we're sponsoring, but we also have to activate it by letting everyone know that we are the sponsor, because it's not automatic, right? So every deal is different, and they all come with a lot of very good benefits. Most of them are going to be translating for us into special experiences for our customers, which is one of our key values, is to provide a different and special experience to our customers, and this plays into that strategy.
Wonderful, thank you, congrats. Fernanda, could you please talk a bit about on how we can maximize marketing dollars when it comes to sponsorships for Mexico and Colombia?
Yes, first of all, JD, congratulations for the NFL sponsorship. Great move.
Thank you, thanks for that.
I'm for Atlante, okay? So as JD said, sponsorship is tricky, no? For me, it's like to build a brand. It depends of the strategy of each company. Like there's not a rule of thumb that you can follow. Is to know your customer, to know what you want to tell to the market. Is a lot of perception. You know that when you make a deal like sponsorship, maybe the return of investment will not be immediately reflecting acquisition. Takes time to build a sponsorship. It's not like a performance campaign or media, digital, or affiliates. No, campaign is more long-term. Long-term is about more brand awareness. So sometimes I would like to say that there's a lot of studies in gaming and sponsorship, but it's a lot of things and a lot of work to do that. No, so in Europe they have been doing a lot of sponsorship in the soccer team now in Spain. Now they have problems with that. So I think we're trying to copy the European gambling companies, and then we feel the market and we realize which of the teams are better or not. And at the end, we know that it's a long term, and so it's important to it's part of all the marketing business plan. You know that a percentage of the marketing needs to go to sponsorship, and you need to balance with the performance. So, but JD has been doing a great work. So,
well, thank you, Fernanda.
Love the love, guys. I love it. And I know that Alice. Yeah, thumbs up. I know that Alessandro Valente, you had some thoughts on this as well, specifically to avoid wasting marketing dollars. You even have, I think, an example. Can you elaborate, please?
Well, sure. I don't think it goes on waste. As JD said, it's a long-term commitment that will produce results. Eventually, you will see the results coming to your organic traffic, etc. But I've seen some really interesting cases, especially in Brazil, whereby a sponsorship followed by lots of PR, lots of articles in the press and media as well. So that contributes somehow and you can actually track down some of the performance. And more recently, I've been looking into, since I'm here in Brazil for a while now, I've been looking into some interesting deals on TV advertisements with QR code printed on screen that people can just scan and place a bet, and that actually helps a lot on the conversion rate strategy, or that you can follow a little bit more about what's going on. So it's not just like branding strongly and hoping for the best. It's sometimes doable to have a kind of a performance attached to it. So I've been seeing some of these interesting examples here in Brazil, and I'm sure JD is already planning something around that. And I've seen lots of press releases on Ronaldinho and on football. So it's probably something that, but some people, they are just not doing it at all. And that's when I think it's not a waste, but it's money that could be used wisely. And sometimes it's just like, because you have lots of money to put in a sponsorship, you just do it. But yeah, so that is my very humble perspective on sponsorship. You have to do the best out of it. You get a sponsorship, which is great, marketing channel, one of the best exposures, but then what do you do with that? So making use of that, digitally speaking, I think is very beneficial as well.
Very good, thank you. And Alessandro Fried, it's your turn. We're going to talk about emerging marketing channels now. And actually, just this morning, I received a PR from BTO Bet about a partnership with Top Play. And you were announcing how powerful the Rappi platform is in Latin America and how you're getting involved with it. So can you share with our audience why this is super exciting for you and BTO Bet?
Yes, as B2Bet, first of all, we always try to support operators to move from retail to online, because we know that LATAM is still mainly driven by retail. So to move from retail to online, it's a challenge related to payment, challenge related to marketing channel in order to make customer acquisition. So this represents a challenge. So we found out a company, it's a very interesting company, large company, it's called Rappi in LATAM, and they are what we call the delivery service, online delivery service. So through this app, customers can directly order almost everything, from supermarket supplies to a service and they take care about the app, the payment, the delivery, all the process. In LATAM, they reach, I think, a good result. They have actually almost 40 million active users. And in Colombia, where we launched first, 8, 9 million. So it's a very large target. So what we did, and this is a technical challenge, is to fully integrate our platform inside the Rappi app. This means that directly a customer for Rappi go inside the application, and in the same way, he find the other categories, he can find betting and casino. There he can select the operators, our operators, for example, in Colombia, and directly they can, inside the Rappi app, use the money they have in their wallet, plus bet, play casino games, play virtuals, and so on. So this is a new channel, because, for example, the operator in Colombia will have access immediately to 9 million of potential users, on which he will solve in only one way directly, acquisition, payment, and the same environment to play. Just to make a comparison, it's if you imagine Rappi like Amazon, it's like if you find directly in Amazon the possibility to play in the Amazon app directly to play with the operator's contents. So this required, obviously, the flexibility of the technologies, because you need to have a very complete and full set of API in order to manage all the functionality for a player account, for opening the games, for selecting the events, placing the bet, accessing to the bonus, to the free bet, So it required a large set of API in order to allow a third party to fully implement the application. So yes, we are proud about this result, and we believe that our operators will be quite happy to have access to this new opportunity.
Excellent. Thank you for that. And congrats on that news too. And I have a question for our operators here now. This is more about the talent that you hire. I know in many, many discussions, we've discussed that it's incredibly important to have a physical presence in LATAM if you want to be there. But I wanted more information from you guys on exactly what positions need to be hired on the ground, perhaps customer service, this kind of thing. And why is this the case? Why do they have to be local? So I wanted to start with Fernanda on this.
Okay, the microphone. Why need, the question is why we need to hire locally? That's the question, Vicky?
The internal talent, yes. Why? Why is this necessary when you're dealing with your players? Why can't, hiring in the region that you're actually targeting?
No, it's super important, like for small things and bigger things. Like small things, like you need the local language, no? For example, like all the my recommendation is always customer service. No, it's important to be local. The marketing team is important to be local because they know the culture of the country. They know how to speak with them. Like they have all the experience that you may not have in the market, with the media, with the sponsorship, with the partners. So for me, is the best balance to have all the, of course, the international experience, but to have like with the local knowledge of the market. So even in Latin America, that we speak Spanish, mostly except Brazil. But most of the country. So our will seem like LATAM always is LATAM like a region, but we're different, no? Mexico to Colombia to Costa Rica to Panama. So we have different Spanish, different slangs, different. For example, in Mexico, they love NFL and the American sports. In Costa Rica, like. After football is American sports, no? We're crazy about American sport. And if you go to Colombia, they don't care about the NFL, or if you go to Argentina. So it's different. So it's important to have this know-how from the people of the market, of the local market.
Very good. And JD, how do you manage that in such a big organization like Betcris?
Well, it's definitely been one of the challenges. We're operating in 10 plus markets right now, and I have a team on the ground in every single one of them. And I believe that's been a key part of the success we've had, that we're able to speak the local slang, not just the language. As Fernanda was saying, it's not enough to speak Spanish. Every country has a different dialect, so to speak, related to the way they speak, the way they bet, even, as something as simple as call it a parlay bet or an accumulator. In Europe, they call it different things in different countries. So it's important to have that local intelligence, not just for that, but also hiring the local talent for, say, the management or the marketing opens up a lot of doors automatically. Hopefully, through the recruitment, we get talented individuals with experience, with their own connections, things that you can't really train someone to have. Someone who would have to develop that over time. So that's important as well. And the service, being able to offer someone help in their same language, it also plays a big part. Same as, how to educate the market on how sports betting works or gaming works. It would be a completely different effect if a foreigner explains it as if someone local does it. It takes 2 seconds, and then the local person would find the right words to explain it. Plus, it projects that that trust you're playing with someone locally. It's not a company operates cyberspace. That if you ever have a problem in Latin America, I believe that's one of the main cultural differences with other parts of the world. there's this distrust in things that we cannot see, right? You have to be able to know where that company is at. If I have an issue, who do I talk to? Is it someone who's going to speak in my own Spanish or my own language, or is it going to be someone from a different country? So we've tried them both. We have customer service centers in Mexico, in Costa Rica, and we're now opening them up in every single country, precisely because of that, because we find that the customers really, really love it when the person talking to them speaks their own version of Spanish, their own language, right? And they are also very aware of what works. Fernanda was saying about cultural differences. Small countries, very small countries in LATAM, one next to another. I mean, countries that normally in a European country or in another part of the world would be cities of a big country. In LATAM, they're small countries, and they have completely different interests. One country loves boxing, baseball. The other one, it's only football, right? So everything is different from as soon as you cross the border, and then you have to find the balance between concentrating on what everyone likes, and then find those key aspects that would give you an edge locally, right? So it's very interesting, and that's something that we've been developing for a long time. We still do. I mean, now we're preparing for Brazil, so we're putting together a team. We have already prospects for all the key positions in Brazil. You have to there more than anywhere else because of the language, but that's the same approach we apply everywhere. The whole, and this might, I've been saying this for a long time, and I'm not the first one. The whole thing, about thinking globally but acting locally. I mean, that's a mantra of ours, definitely.
Very good. Thank you so much for that. And Alessandro Valente, anything that you wanted to add?
No, I just like to see this kind of a thing coming from Betcris. Hiring local people that will make a difference. This kind of commitment helps the affiliates and helps everything. So it's good for the environment. And we do see a lot of difference. Sometimes a website that is partially translated in Portuguese from Brazil and Portuguese from Portugal, and the difference in conversion rate and retention rate is completely amazing. So it's very good to see that JG is doing that very well done.
Lots of thumbs up. Fantastic. Okay, guys, we do have a number of questions that are piling in, so I'd like to dedicate the next 10 minutes to answering as many as we can. This is awesome. Thank you so much to the audience, because this is what makes a panel fantastic. So let's start off with Leonardo Baptista of Play for Fun. He's talking about payments here, obviously. He's saying that he knows about the payment methods and the importance of the operators, and he does say, congratulations, JD, for the amazing work coming out of Betcris. But he wants to know about affiliates, more specifically for affiliates. So who would like to take this one?
Well, I could.
Alessandro.
I could. So, Play for Fun has been really interesting case in Brazil. They grew so fast. They are now plugged to over 100 operators, and that makes a difference for affiliates as well, because the speed in processing payments keeps the momentum quite significant to the players. So it is very interesting to see that Leonardo is here asking questions about affiliates. So it does impact the results for affiliates as well.
Okay.
Right. If I may jump in, Becky.
Yeah, of course.
I think that thank you. In LATAM, sports betting or online gaming in general is still a novelty, right? In a lot of countries. And while we're here on a gaming event, and everyone watching this, and all of ourselves here in the panel, we live this thing. We breathe it every day. We dream about it, So we think it's normal. But out there in the normal person walking down the street, chances are they don't even know how it works. So there's still a lot of room, there's a lot of I guess progress we have to make in teaching people, educating people how these things work. I believe affiliates are going to be key in order to get to where we want to go. Affiliate marketing is also kind of a new thing, especially when it's related to gaming, right? For the most part, affiliate marketing in LATAM, I believe, has been used for sales of cosmetics or catalog shopping. So affiliate marketing, where it's an online property sending traffic to a gaming site, is actually something that's still quite new. I believe that those affiliates, such as Alessandro, who have experience, are coming in at the right time to take advantage, position themselves before there's a bigger wave of new affiliates coming in, trying to find, trying to get their own piece of the pie, right? So it's going to be evolving. I think it's very, very early. I mean, I explain to people how it works sometimes. Oh, you can become an affiliate. When I find someone who's got a nice website with good traffic and everything, and they can't believe it. I think if more people were to understand how affiliates work for the gaming industry, there would be a lot more affiliates, right? So that's something, I guess, that is potentially going to affect existing affiliates. But for gaming companies, we actually would like to have as many affiliates as we can, as long as they're sending the right amount of traffic, right? Because if it doesn't help if we have 1,000 affiliates and only 100 send traffic, which is some of what we see right now, right? There are people coming in. They are not really experts. They don't have a lot of experience, but they're giving it a try. So over time, I think that's going to get better.
Very good. Thank you guys so much. And this is an interesting question. Is David Barthram of Block 20 Gaming. I can't really read it on the screen here. So for operators that are marketing aggressively in Brazil, right now, should they be concerned that it might impact their potential future license application? Let's see who wants to answer that one. Maybe Alessandra?
Difficult. Very difficult to answer to a question. Yeah,
it's a very good question. Do you want to go ahead, Alessandro? Go ahead.
Go, JD.
Okay.
It's a very good question, but very complicated question.
It's very complicated, and to be honest, for a long time, I was very reluctant to pull the trigger on investments in Brazil for marketing. I believe a lot of people have seen that we have Ronaldinho as a brand ambassador. We obviously put that on pause while he figured out, his problems. But now that he's out of it, we're going back with it. And that's been a move for all of LATAM. Of course, it works more in Brazil, but it's more for Latin America. So that tells you a little bit of the strategy. I wasn't really looking to invest heavily in Brazil. But the reality is I started to see every single company going in there and started to buy properties like it was a monopoly game. All soccer clubs, the football clubs in Brazil, most of them have a local sponsor, right? And some of them are even local companies. So strategically, I believe that it's not going to play a role. I've heard people bring this up several times. I actually heard something official, I think almost a year ago, where they said there was not going to be like a quarantine period, terrible word now, for any licensed, any company interested in a license, there wasn't going to be. And I understand that would be the best move for the regulator, given that they're going to want to have the right operators come in and get licensed, so that they don't have, that situation where most people want to play with unlicensed regulators, which is something that would be terrible for the market and for the regulator, right? So I think right now, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't have a crystal ball, but I do have a level of confidence that we're not doing anything wrong. I mean, I've had many legal opinions, that basically tell me it's okay. So that's why we have a deal with the Brasileirão, the main soccer championship. We have billboards on the games. And it's not a one-year deal; it's a multi-year deal. And the idea is that we're preparing to go for the license as soon as they figure out everything they have left to figure out. So it's I think it's again, like with everything in gaming, it's a situation where you have something very new. You have a regulator or a government trying to figure out the best way to regulate the activity. And then you have the soccer clubs very interested in getting some money coming in for sponsorships. Another thing that they desperately need right now at this moment too. So in the end, I think it's going to be okay, and that there's not going to be a punishment. And I hope that that's the case, of course, to those companies that are investing in the local market.
But I'm seeing several companies that are entering. I'm saying from Europe, but I'm trying to enter in Brazil. Most of them with no pay services or with agreement in order to collect players' information, data, in order to use them when the regulation come in place. So, but there is a lot of activities around in this moment in Brazil.
Very, very good. And guys, we are out of time. I know there's some more questions in here. So what I will do is kindly ask SBC to pass those questions on to me, and I will see if I can get some answers for you from the panelists offline. I want to thank, first of all, our panelists so much for being here and sharing your words of wisdom about this fantastically exciting market. And thank you so much to SBC. This is a ton of work to put this together. And we thank you so much. And thank you guys very much for joining us for the panel today, all in our audience. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Becky. Thank you, SBC.